Hello, and thank you for joining. Today, we're going to do a quick tutorial on how you can point your domain. Now, the good thing about System is it doesn't have to be narrowed down to just one business within the software. You can have many different businesses, and depending on the plan that you choose within System, you can have many domains. So, different businesses, also subdomains, for instance, for Passive Profits, which is my main domain. And then I have a course called Passive Profits. And so I'm able to add that as a subdomain. And so the good thing about that is that you will be able to point it as many times as you are allowed within the plan that you are in at that current time. So we're just going to show you how to point the domain. It could be a bit tedious. It took some trial and error for me to get this together. So I want to help you along so that it won't be an issue. Also, depending on your provider, your domain provider that you're with. For instance, I'm with Namecheap. You have HostGator, you have GoDaddy, you have Bluehost, and all of those type of providers that pretty much host domains. And so basically, your provider, if you go to their technical assistance or their customer service, they would be able to help you to point the domain. Okay. But for those of you who don't have a decent provider like I do with Namecheap, that they have helped me so much over the years. It's just been wonderful. And what I will do is I will leave a link, which would be my affiliate link. So basically, what that means is I give you a link. If you decide to purchase through my link, I get a small commission and no additional charges to you. And so I will leave that in the comments of this video or in the description of this video. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to log in our account. And the first thing we're going to do is go right under the profile picture here. We're going to click on settings. And over here to the left, we're going to go ahead and click on custom domains. And as you can see, these are all my domains that I set out here. And you can see the status for those are ready to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another domain for our training purposes today. So our domain that we're going to add today is princepoodle.shop. And click on save. Now what's going to happen next is there are going to be instructions that'll pop up letting you know exactly what you need to do to go ahead and get that domain pointed to System from your domain host. So this is the pop-up box, and as you can see, DNS configuration for your domain. Now, these are the setup text for the configuration for your domain. Also, you can click on read this article to learn how to set up the custom domain. And that will take you to an article. And the good thing about this article is they know that there are many hosting providers out there. And so basically what you do is just kind of scroll down until you see your particular hosting. As you can see, GoDaddy, OVH. There's also Namecheap here, DNSchecker.org. And here is actually Namecheap. So it gives you examples with the hosting provider of where you need to go. So that's also something you can check. And again, as I said earlier, you also want to keep in mind that you can go right to your hosting provider support. You can go right to the support team, ask them to assist you. Now, I know with Namecheap, they send you an article, something like this, to give you instructions on how you can do it yourself. But that's something that you really don't want to tackle. Customer support will go ahead and do it for you because it literally takes them less than a minute to get it done. Sometimes it's just easier that way. But we want to be more self-sufficient. So I thought this training would be very helpful to you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to come on over to Namecheap. And basically, I went ahead and I logged in. Let's go back to the dashboard to see how we got to where we needed to be. So if you go ahead and purchase your domain through Namecheap, we're going to go to the dashboard. Then under the dashboard, we're going to click on our domain list because we want to point our domain, right? And I have several domains here. Scroll down until we get to the domain that we're looking for. In this case, it's called the princesspoodle.shop. Click on manage. And under manage, again, we want to configure our DNS. So we want to scroll over to advanced DNS. We want to add a new record. So based on the information that system is giving us, we want to create two CNAME record, which the left side would be the actual host and the right side would be the target. So we want to create our first record and we want to scroll down to what is called the CNAME. So this first line here is where our host would go. The second line would be where the target. We leave that on automatic and then we want to click that green check to save our changes. And it usually takes up to about 30 minutes for that to take effect. So let's go ahead and do this. The tricky thing about this one is we don't need to copy the entire domain. We just want to copy the configure text as well as the beginning part of the domain to let us know which domain that we're configuring, okay? So in this case, and then if we take another look at the how to, right? Okay, all we're going to need to do is copy. Don't forget it's a CNAME record. Okay, so this is where the host is, and under value is where the target is. Then leave it on automatic, and then we're going to click on the green check to save it. Okay, so let's go ahead and so that is our host. I've been doing a lot of copy and pasting with all the domains that I have. So we have a lot of things that are saved under my copy and paste. So you just want to make sure that you're pasting the correct host. Okay. So we're going to go back and get the value. And this is our value for our first C record. And save our very first record. All right, so now we're going to create another record. Once again, it's a CNAME record. This is going to be just the very first part under the host. And then the value would be this entire record here. Alrighty, and we have that set to automatic, and we'll go ahead and save that. Now it takes about 30 minutes or so. They tell you could take up to 24 hours, but usually in about 30 minutes, you should have that. And as you can see here, that is pending validation. And when we come back, it should read ready to use, and then we can proceed. So as you can see here, our domain that we pointed from Namecheap is ready to use. and just a reiteration of how we choose which funnel is going to use which domain. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click on funnels, and we are going to just show you how we would determine that. Okay, so let's look at the new funnel that we created in our other video, and we're going to click on settings and funnel settings. So once we add our domain, say if we already created the funnel, we've already pointed the domain from our hosting to system. Under you click on funnel settings, and under that you'll get a pop-up where you can edit the funnel. There's the name of the funnel, and it says funnel domain. So you click on that drop down, and it'll give you all the domain names that have been added to system. So in this case, the newest domain we added was the princesspoodle.shop. Then we click on save. Now, what you can do is we have the main URL path to the main domain. You can add the opt-in page or whatever so that you can decipher that, and then you click save. So now if we click on copy, our funnel now has the main domain. And so that is how we will get our domain pointed